fuck with me, get me riled up.
Come in a little too hot and mistaken, thinking that you're hosting.
I mean, if it ends up that I'm hosting,
You're not hosting.
I'm just saying.
You think
You think you can come in hot? I can come in
Can
even
we do
hotter.
a whole podcast about whether
Or not the host gate.
Host.
I shaved.
Are you- so you're
too
not
fast,
hosting
and my
tonight?
fucking face hurts now. Not my face, like one spot.
Are you hosting? So there's no host. It's
There's
just
no host.
No.
What is the show tonight?
Theo
Bruce
Von
Gray
and
and
Friends.
Saul and Friends featuring Theo Von.
Oh, okay. Welcome back to the Comedy Store Doorcast. I'm your host, Luke Schwartz. I have a stain I can't get out of my shirt. We have a great group of people with me this week. To my left, Bruce Gray.
Hello, everybody, and it's great to be back on the Doorcast.
Across from him, Saul Trujillo.
Hey, and I also have the same thing that Luke has, problem with his shirt, but with a lot more than one shirt.
And Caley Chase.
you wouldn't be able to see a stain on my
Yeah, Kaylee's shirt is super stained.
Smart, wearing tie-dye.
Thank you.
As always, if you tip at the door, mention the Doorcast, we will shout you out. So thank you for Erica and Sophia for $1, I guess.
Fuck that.
Thank you.
Ari
Thank
Shafir
you.
wrote his name down, but false valor. You didn't put any money in.
Ari Shafir wrote his name. I thought he did give you money. Didn't he give
No,
you?
he didn't give me any money.
Oh, but he just wrote his name down.
Yeah, it's funny.
Was he like, what is this? What is?
He's probably just like,
What is this?
JP from Santa Barbara, $10. Thank you for that. That's actually a tip. And then this says Ashvin from G-Town. I got a text from Alex Young.
Oh, yeah, there was a guy last
Ashvin.
night, too, that had a 4-letter name, and I want to say it was Armo, but that's not it. That's
It's a slur. is
that's what
that
I'm
is.
saying.
That's
made-up
like a
name.
That
by
one, no, it
Bruce
was
Gray.
AR, maybe it was AR.
Was it Army Hammer?
No, yeah, he
AR-15.
bit me on the penis. It's good to be here with everybody. Just love the
Shout out,
Doorcast.
shout out Big Bad Brad, Mike, and Shannon.
Dude, Brad was here with a chick last
Oh,
night.
yeah.
Dude, sick.
A Latina chick.
She also dressed
Yeah.
as a pirate.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a pirate.
Everyone-
That's what he said. Yeah.
Everyone was dressed up last night, huh? I was not.
No.
I
It
did
was
not
the
dress
first
up.
Monday I've missed in a long.
What were you doing?
I went
You went trick-or-treating?
trick or treating. Me and my hot ass wife just walking around, not in costume.
Yeah. Just stealing
Gathering
candy?
Just grabbing one or two, going thank you,
Yeah.
being sweet, but just grabbing it.
Civilian clothes, just regular people clothes?
Yeah. I actually do very low effort Halloween. I'm sure. I mean, you dressed up. You do a dress up normally. But
What's that supposed to mean?
you're costumey. Kaylee's costumey.
I would be a costumey person, yeah.
This flannel was part of my costume last night. I do every year. Have you ever seen Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
So I just turn my hat backwards and I go, I'm Luke. I'm from Gilmore Girls.
Nice.
And I go, get out of the. Hey, it's no cell phones, and that's the whole costume.
Yeah, last night was
Pretty-
real spooky.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
No, not really that spooky.
Not
It was kind of a
Just
hectic.
looking for an end to the
It was
story.
kind of spooky whenever nobody that signed up for the late night friends and family were just not there. They all
Not
signed up. We
ready.
did the drawing, and then they were not there. And then
That is spooky.
it was really annoying. And then I felt bad because Fraser's like, "Well, fuck, did I fuck that up, buddy?" And I was like, "No, no,
No, buddy.
no, literally,
That's nothing to
truly,
do with you.
all on me." Yeah, okay, but I'm good, right? And I was like, "Yeah, you're great." Okay.
Also, can we just talk about Bricks is a great host, but also it's super intimidating to every comic. He just
Wait, Bricks?
So is he?
Intimidating.
Are we talking
So
about the
is-
same bricks?
The
So
same
is he a
Bricks?
good host or is he?
No.
Intimidating. Yeah, it sounds like no.
no, he's good until the light goes on, and then he walks to the stage and just
Unless it's his friend, and then they could do 5.5 minutes.
yeah. It was very strange. He didn't.
Well,
he
he's a guy that
literally-
gets it.
He just walked.
That's why he left the group chat
To the stage.
voluntarily.
He did do a
And-
fine job hosting, but he also didn't.
Shirtless, huh?
He didn't
I saw
have
some pictures. Yikes.
Nobody knew when they were going up, so every time that he would go start introducing,
People running?
But whenever
yeah.
he would start introducing somebody, 4 people would stand up,
Yep.
and then sometimes it wasn't even one of them that got picked.
No, someone would be waiting to go up, and sometimes I also gauge what music I'm going to play based on who's going to go up. And I would start playing, and it was jarring because that person would just look over and
Comedy
someone else
roulette.
would be running from the back. But what I was talking about there is the light would go on, and Bricks would see my timer, and if it was over 2:15, even if it was a door guy, he would just wait by the stage and just look at them right.
Yeah, it's not chill.
It's scary, kind of.
Yeah, I just kept going.
You're gonna run the light? Because if you run the light, you're a brave
I
person.
asked him to be on here one time, and he was like, "Okay, but I want to do a filmed intro, and I want to do like sketches, and we're gonna film me walking into the building and like doing some cool stuff like B-roll." And I was like, "It's just a podcast. We'd like to have you." He goes, "And I don't think I could do it. Everything I'm in has to be special." And I was like, "Okay."
Aw.
So how
And also
you can't
the
just do I was like, "Just do the thing. It will be special." But
Whenever I went up last night, I went up first on Friends and Family, and only because, and I was kind of like low energy already. I was like, I want to work out one half bit, and then like
you work in the room.
yeah, and then I'm also seating, so I'm like, I'm not like gonna like.
You went up first.
And so
He put you up first.
I put myself up first
Okay.
because the last 2 out of the last like 3 people weren't here for the thing, and so then he goes up after the last person and is calling these people's name and they're not here, and I know that he doesn't have somebody he's going to bring up, so I just start walking towards, and I'm standing by the bucket seats, and he literally does like this to look out to see who he's going to put up, and I just pointed to myself, and like, which is funny that I've done the point to myself thing a few times, because like I had a few weeks ago, Kelly was hosting the 8 o'clock or like maybe the early main room show at the Improv, and then I had a later show somewhere else, and so I stopped by there just to see her go up, and then the sound guy was like, which at first is actually a funny story. I thought he was fucking with me, because I come in and I sit down, and he's like, all right, you're up next, and I was like, you bastard, and then like as she's like wrapping up, he's like, I just need like 5'7". And I was like, oh, okay. I'm literally like taking my backpack off, and I walk out to like the middle of the Improv thing, and she's like starting to intro someone else, and I'm just doing the point to myself. Like I've done the point to myself so many fucking times.
That'd be a good April Fool's.
To do that at yeah.
Be like,
You're a good guy. He give the whole land ho. Fucking
was
looking
literally
at
like-
the fucking. What is he
I couldn't,
doing,
like,
man?
I was like,
That's a good host right
Yeah.
there.
You're a very visible person too.
I make myself very visible.
Yeah.
I'm also very good at being
Shiny.
I'm also very good at being non-visible whenever I am trying to. I'm good at ducking away. I duck out of a lot of conversations.
Yeah, I've seen you duck.
I duck out. I got and I'm notorious for dumping somebody else in a conversation with somebody that I don't want to talk to.
Oh, you got to learn that out here fast.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I'm
You
one
gotta
of the,
learn
and
that
my,
fast.
I have no problem walking away from anybody.
I've seen you do that.
Oh yeah.
Dear friends and people.
It was
like,
great.
Don't agree.
I just
Yeah.
walk right away. But like the other night, there was I was talking to Brian Vokey, and then somebody else had come up, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I literally 30 seconds later, I was like, I got it. And I just walked away, and now
Yeah.
they're just stuck in conversation with this person.
Just leave Brian. Yeah,
I do
leave
it.
Brian hang.
I do it constantly.
I'm
Rebecca-
a person who gets dumped on.
Oh, no, you can't- you cannot
too
let
nice.
yourself-
No, mentally
Nope.
insane
I've
person's
done-
talking about mics
can't
for
do it.
37 minutes, and I'm like,
I've done that
yeah,
too, for sure. I'm sure.
I've been
done
dumped on
Last
enough.
night-
I will not be dumped again.
Last night, everybody was out of. You were fucking out of there. You were. I was like gonna talk to you about something. I just carried the keys, and they were like,
Oh,
"He's-
last night I fucking
he's been
split.
gone."
Yeah, I took out the trash. I did that. It was a great. It was as far as my night went last night. Everything was good. Everything else, I'm pretty disconnected from a lot of shit lately, just because I'm like I got other shit going on. I don't give a shit about anything.
Yeah, so
anymore.
you left. The only person there was Zach, and Zach had like the big eyes, get me out of here look, like,
Yeah.
oh, you need anything? And so as soon as I asked Marvin to help me find my hat, which I left over by the booth, and Zach was out. So everybody had left except Richie, who's, had turned the lights on. Robert, like it was
At least Robert's been showing up too late to go on sometimes. Like people.
Is that
leave-
possible?
Yeah. Like the show ends and he.
Well, he won't stop. He will not get off stage lately.
not before
I've been. I let him at.
9:30, 10. He's gonna do at least
Minutes, you
10.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did like 14 last night.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know where the set ends because that's when he goes, bitch,
Yeah.
ooh, and I know I'm like, all right, that's the end of it. But he's just not even getting into that. So I'm just like,
He does plug his ears. and sing
hey, man, I've been here
public
for a
domain
long
songs.
fucking time. I got to get the fuck out of here. I did. I took the trash out. I was about to leave. I took the kitchen trash out. And then
Was anyone in the room?
the show had ended. I didn't leave
And-
before
and
Robert was.
Wait,
Robert
I
was still up
also-
there.
Yeah.
You've
when I
never done
left-
that?
This is how
Not for a long
You've cleaning
time.
through his set. That's the first time. I forgot who showed me. They're like, just clean through his set.
If no one is
There's no
in
one
the
here.
showroom,
I left when Robert was still on stage.
he
if
was
there's no
still
audience, then
performing.
yeah.
But my stuff was done.
He was performing for 3 people. They got up and left.
Yeah, of course.
And then he kept performing for like, and I I played a little note. It's just me, him, and Dawn in the back with these giant tits.
Yeah, John did have huge tits.
Dawn always dresses like a woman.
It was, man, I've never seen anybody with less ass than Don Barris.
Wow.
It was like, I've never seen it. I don't have like a big, like nice male ass, but he had negative ass.
Hank Hill.
I would say worse than Hank Hill.
Slumped
I've never seen, it looked like
It was like legs.
the back.
It was just legs.
The back of his ass was like a drop in on a tech deck skate park. It was like, it just went completely behind, like negative. It was unbelievable.
It's a chorus on Tony Hawk.
Yeah, it was really fucking crazy. And Marvin did make me laugh really hard last night in the kitchen because Don walked in and I was like, do I know you? Have we ever met? And then he was like, yeah. And then he was walking away. Then Marvin goes, hey, show us your pussy. It really made me laugh.
That's it's the classic flip of show us your dick.
Yeah,
he's dressed as a woman.
It was very funny.
He Don thinks he's Bugs Bunny fooling all of us.
It was so funny. Yeah. Terrible looking woman.
He's strapped.
Just hideous. I'm not saying I'm a good looking woman.
I'm like channeling Don. Take it easy.
Take it easy, man.
There he is.
Was that my big new impression?
That's really
He's
good.
strapped-
Sauce pot.
Yeah.
Soft spot. He strapped himself in like I don't know if anybody knows how drag dressers do it, but they strap in like hardcore layers and then like stockings. He did. You could see the like layers of.
Oh, like to do his big hog, to tie his big hog back.
It was
Wow.
and then kept the way he moves. He's like,
Yeah.
Yes, he flashes us anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashing going on, so it was really quite a show.
He's a giant no-assed man.
It was crazy.
Everyone did comics dress up and stuff. Hugo looked great.
Hugo had a great Powerline costume.
He did the song and stuff from the Goofy movie.
Did he even go up?
No.
That's so funny. He was just here, literally just here in costume, dance. He has these dark. He had dark sunglasses on, and he's moving through the OR, and he's bumping into everything. And then I see him in the kitchen. He's like, I don't know if you know this, but I can't see shit. And I was like, I saw you in the fucking thing. So he's just in the kitchen, in the fucking service bar, just like dancing and doing the splits and shit. And I just realized right now that he did not go up.
No, I don't think he went up.
Hilarious.
It's really
Oh, he
fun.
went up.
He was up.
he was up
He was up the whole
yeah,
time.
yeah. Who else dressed up that I saw?
Chris Walsh dressed up.
Yeah, wizard.
Oh yeah, he was a wizard. That's
It
cool.
was pretty funny,
That's
yeah.
very Chris Walsh.
It was very
That's
funny.
cool.
He
He's
did
here
his
every
entire
Monday. He's a
set
good guy.
as a wizard.
That's funny.
Everyone says that Chris Walsh. I haven't seen it, but they said I've heard many people say that Chris Walsh is really, really good in that 4th of July movie, the Louis C.K. movie. He's in that.
Cool.
Apparently,
Shout out Walsh Brothers' old show they did on Comedy Central. That was very
Chris Walsh?
good. Yeah, Chris and his brother did a like kind of prank show. Very funny stuff.
Who's his
good
brother?
Stuff. Dave.
Wait,
But he doesn't.
Yeah, Dave Wade is his brother.
Only Chris does comedy anymore.
really?
Yeah, I talked to him when he started coming back on Mondays. He was really nervous about going on his own and doing his own comedy.
Were they a comedy team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like a duo act?
Yeah. And they were good. They had Comedy Central credits a bunch, like more than just a show.
What were their names? The Walsh brothers?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's really, I've seen him improve because I'm here every Monday. So
Yeah.
I've seen, it's little bits, but
Very interesting.
They were funny and silly. They were in the cool alt when alt meant something.
Yeah.
They were doing that.
I see. I didn't. Sometimes you see people like
All
that, and
doesn't
I don't know anything about him at all. I got the vibe that he was somebody who hadn't done stand. Not because I saw him on stage anything out of the ordinary. I just saw him in the back of the room, seeming very nervous. He was seemingly, and it's like I've seen most people who have come through here at least recently.
He's also just like he's a nice,
Dude,
funny dude.
That was I was gonna say. The nice.
He's a very nice guy.
He's very
Very
funny,
complimentary,
and
very
you know
nice.
it's
He's so
always
fucking
bad to
dope.
say a comedian is nice, but he is very nice.
No, I mean that. Yeah.
Yeah. The other day somebody.
And I didn't see the movie.
I had that same conversation with somebody about like calling a comedian a nice guy and leaving it at that because that's like the worst thing you could be.
Sure.
Basically, is like saying like that guy's nice guy. And so that same guy had asked
Just Luke is nice now.
he books some shows, and he hit me up and he was like, "What do you think of this person?" And I wrote back and I put he's a ... and I did the laser thing. I put nice guy with the devil face. And it's like I love the laser effect so much.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I like the
Use that.
spotlight.
The spotlight's good.
No. Moves
yeah,
it right there.
Yeah, people don't send enough of the effects on the iPhone. I think it's so fucking fun.
Speaking of getting out of conversations with people, there was a bringer promoter here recently. And
You want to say her name?
I'll say Rebecca.
I don't even know who this person
We out
is.
here saying
I just
these
wanted to
names
bait
on
Luke
streets,
into
dog.
saying something.
It's so and she was this awful promoter. And
It's so nicely.
and just came here the other day and saw Renee and was like, "Oh my God, Renee, you're still here?" And I was talking to
What?
Renee and I just turned around.
Oh, you got to bounce out.
I turned around and just walked to the other end of like where the outside near the belly room sign. And Renee tried to get me. He was like, "Luke's been here a while too." And she was like, "Uh-huh," and didn't turn around. And I didn't turn around. I heard my name. I just didn't flinch. You can't flinch when you hear your name.
Damn.
No.
Yeah, you know, as you were saying that, I realized that I got dumped on recently. I got dumped by somebody in conversation recently.
Yeah.
This fucking turd who I fucking hate. I hate this motherfucker. I'll tell you after who it is. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a
Not
fucking
Rebecca.
he's a fucking pencil pusher is what he is. And I was standing in the back talking to me and Kelly walked out there, and this guy saw this guy. And I seen this guy around. He's just he's not a comedian. He's a fucking dipshit. And there's like other behind him is like other. There's like a few paid regulars, like people. It was like Fury and a few other people, like people that you might have actually also been there. And literally, so I come out into sacred ground. I think we all walked out there together. Me, him, and Kelly, and then we're standing there, and then we're talking for like 2 minutes, and he goes, "All right, well, like it was good seeing you guys." And then the way that the conversations were out there, it was like we were out here, and then that one was going on. He literally just turned his body 180 degrees and stood there. And I will never forgive this piece of shit as long as I live. Ever. I fucking hate this guy so much. You have no idea. I talk bad about him to anybody that I can.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's a 180-degree
And
move.
do
I've
you
never
remember
seen
his
it.
name?
Oh, I know his name. I know. I've seen him since. He was at a thing that I was at recently. He's an assistant. He's a fucking dickhead. I hate him. But yeah, that really came up, and that really I had to get that out.
Well, it was a tough week for people. I mean, it was a spooky week. I mean, we had first Vargas was it the first Vargas show back?
Is it?
Second.
It was Soul's first.
No,
Vargas
I did
show.
the second. Because I did the first one.
I think. Oh no, they did.
I taped my set at the first one because I was trying to get a tape, and great crowd. Just great. I watched them all come in, and I saw Scipio arguing with people. Scipio was working too, if you can believe
it's
that.
An argument. I forgot how much of a fight it is from the moment
With Bringer Show people?
they enter the doorway as just the audience. Everyone goes,
Yeah.
"I know someone on the show. I've got to get in."
Yep.
And I go, "It's okay. We're gonna get you in." They're like, "You don't understand." I'm like, I'm not racist. I'm just.
You can't believe how much I do understand and how little I
There
care.
was an old couple that walked around to the belly room, was told to go wait out front. They went and passed everyone in line, just cut everyone in line. They pushed past people. And I was like, and two girls were like, "What the hell?" And I was like, watch them get sent back out in 30 seconds. And they were like, "Who is this guy?" And I was like, "Trust me." They came back out like 10 seconds later. Like the wrong shit. They're just like the wrong. Like, so how many fights did you get into? Like a 1 million?
Several.
Yeah.
It's a room full of solos that no one will ever remember. The audience itself, because it's single tickets. There's so many single check-ins, and then it's like not only are they single, they bought the single ticket, but they want to join a group of people, and they want to know why we can't hold seats for them. Why can't I get upgraded to the booths? Why can't I sit in the booths? Sir, those are upgradable. Ooh, I'll fucking fight you right now.
Someone said that to you?
Someone did ooh to me. I was like, ooh, I'll fucking fight you right
See,
now.
right there, I would just hit him with, "You can also leave."
I hit two people with that.
And what'd they say?
They just go, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Like that'll fix everything. But I had a guy. I almost fought a guy. I didn't even call
I'm sorry. I left him alone. I kind of bounced. I feel
You
bad.
just see Saul putting his hair up. You're like, "Oh no."
I want
Takes
the
off his
blood
hair,
on my
yeah.
locks.
Yeah.
Fuck fuck that.
Yeah.
No, it
Like
was
Samson.
it was nuts, man, and it was nuts, and it's like the comics themselves don't help. I mean, like,
Oh no, and they all walk in. They're like, "Yeah, I'm on the show," and you're like,
Get
"Oh,
that
you don't
energy.
realize that what you just said is the most humiliating thing anybody could ever say to me right now. That is humiliating that you were on this show. You should be fucking depressed that you were on this show."
We leave the lights on. All
Oh,
the
yeah.
neon names
Yeah,
are
on purpose,
Yeah.
which I love.
I don't
think
know
it's
exactly
fantastic.
why.
It's for two reasons.
We're
One-
Motel 6 in this bitch.
One, they haven't earned it. They're still doing. It's like we turn it off for friends and family. We used to turn it off midway through friends and family, not right at friends and family. It used to go off later on Mondays.
know that.
But it's one. It's like they didn't earn it. And two, like I also heard that the promoter was afraid of the dark. And so he didn't want the lights on. He wanted the lights on.
My.
And it's one of those rumors that I don't know is true, but I want it to be true, so I just say it. Like I heard Robert William Appervia is like that because he got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Saying you're afraid of the dark is a funny reason you could tell people as to why you don't perform at comedy clubs regularly because you're afraid of the dark.
There needs to be
they want me.
more
They
light.
want me back bad, but I'm actually afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
I saw
That's why I'm not getting
Scipio
so much work.
at that show whenever he was arguing with somebody, and like he said something to somebody, they said something back to him, and then the guy was like, "I'm going to go do this," and Scipio was like, "Well, I need you to do this," and the guy's like, "All right, well, I need," and then Scipio was like, "You know what, man? If you want to make it complicated, go ahead." And then like with zero volume control, like zero. Hey, if you want to make it complicated, go ahead. And the guy was like, "Huh?"
He has one straw and that
Yeah.
one strike and you're out.
I had two guys come in together, and then I sat them in a specific place.
And they
did
moved to the
not
buckets?
sit there. One of them went to the restroom for too long, and his other buddy sat in a single next to a girl he thought was pretty. So this dude, they left both of their seats.
Just a creep trying to match.
Just creeps. But this has been happening for so long. This guy's for so long, I
creeps.
forget where they're sitting. So I sat them too, and now that's full. By the time
Right,
this
because
guy,
it's empty. You have to seat the show. It's
so by
going
the
on.
time the guy gets back, he's like, "Hey, where's my seats?" I was like, "I don't know. He's like, my buddy's right here with the girl." I'm like, and like, "Okay, we're full now." He's like, I was like, "What do you want me to do?" He's like, "Well, we could figure this out." I was like, sit over there. We're figuring it out.
Let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out. And he's like,
Sit
"Why
down.
can't I sit next? Can I sit in this booth?" Absolutely not. I want to sit next to my buddy. Well, you should. I'm not your babysitter. I had to tell an adult person,
I don't
I'm not
work
your
for you.
babysitter. I don't work for you.
I hit people
Yeah.
with "I don't work for you" quite
And
often.
then he was just like, "Well, great customer service, buddy." I was like, "Thanks, man. I think so too." And I just walked away, and he followed me. He just kept getting in my ear, man. He just kept chirping and chirping. I was like, "Bro, I'll get security right now, and you could get the fuck out." And he's just like, "All right," but and then he went back to his seat, and then that's just 3 of the fights. And then I believe the woman you were talking about, the producer,
Yes.
she was in the buckets.
Yes.
I don't know who she is.
Yes.
So I used my power of not knowing who people are.
Yes.
Like I've told lots of people not to be places. Like
Sure.
they're like, "That's this person." I don't fucking know who that is. Move. You know, like my name's on the
Usually,
wall.
famous
I don't know
people
that.
will introduce themselves or say like, "I'm with a
Oh.
paid regular." Like they'll know what to say. And
Yeah.
like famous people will be like, "Okay, like yeah, we'll be good most."
But
of
if
the
you're
time.
on the wall and you're not around here anymore, you're not on the wall to me.
I don't
You
think
know what I
she's on
mean?
the
Like,
wall.
but no, she's just like, "Oh, I was a producer here, and the 20 years ago, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Uh-huh,
20 years
okay.
ago.
But I still need you to sit over there." And she's like, "But Luke knows me." She threw your name, and I was like,
Wow.
I was like, "But I feel like you still need to sit over
I
there."
probably turned around. I probably walked in the room and turned around. I probably dumped you with.
You were
the
probably
whole
in the
OR.
booth. You were
I'm
probably
so
in the
sorry.
booth.
I did leave you that. Yeah.
You probably ducked down below the booth.
Yeah.
Whenever you said Luke knows me, you just went "Huh," like that.
There's I have a trap door there that I just go down the stairs. Like you think it's a joke, but I
Yeah.
actually
No,
am
you're
doing
actually
going
down
downstairs.
It was the worst. I've done all the bringer shows. It was the worst experience I've ever had at any.
They
bringer
try
show.
to take over in a weird way. They put their own person in the cover booth, and
I
then
hate that.
And then they want to put someone else outside.
Get out of the cover
They
booth.
oversold by
I
a
don't
lot.
understand why.
Oh, yeah,
leave
and they
a person
oversold
in
the
cover
room.
booth
And
if they're
I had
getting
the
up.
situation of, "Oh, can I put people in booths?" I was like, "Absolutely not, absolutely fucking not."
Yeah.
So then, like, I had made their people wait, and as people were gradually get up, "You're next. You can watch the rest of the show now." No, you can't sit in the booths. You didn't pay for them.
Yeah,
Dude, I had a guy try to who
I'm
wasn't.
on the show.
I had a guy who was not a paid regular try to sign up for the late night on Monday. And so he came in here with another comedian and came up to me and said, older guy, I saw him come in with another person that an actual paid regular, and came up to me and was like, "Oh, hey man, my name's this. I want to sign up for the thing." And I'd heard the name before, like maybe I'd somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I went to sign down the name, and then he was like, "No, I'm just fucking around, dude." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like that's funny. Like I told him,
honestly, that's fine.
I told him, I told him
your reaction was good, and the joke if he left it there.
I was like, "Oh, that's funny." I was like, I mean, if he wouldn't have said anything, I would have at least written it down because I just assumed. Why would anybody say what you're whatever?
Yeah, all the code words.
And then he came back like 15 minutes later and was like, "Man, the guy that I'm with," who he said his name, and he was like, "He's pissed at me." And I was like, "Why is he pissed at you?" He's like, "Because I told you I wasn't the thing, and you were going to sign me up." And I was like, "Well, I mean, that's how this works."
Yeah,
he was
glad
like,
you were honest about it.
Yeah, and I was like, "What?" And then I was like, what are we talking about? And then he was like, "Could you put me down?" And I was like, "No." I was like, I was like, I don't know if I said this, but I was like on the verge. I was like, "Are you fucking crazy?" And
You
then,
exposed your hands.
yeah, exactly. And
I'm
then,
under 21. Can I drink here?
yeah. And then he was like, "Who can I talk to?"
No,
I was
but I
like, "I don't know,
appreciate
the GM. Talk to." I told him, I was like, "The general manager. You could talk to Richie." And he was because I was like,
At your HR department.
yeah, I was like, that'll fucking turn out great. Like, go fucking talk to this guy. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, there was a guy who came in recently that like wanted to see the talent booker and knew her name and was like, "Hey, can I talk to her?" Like,
Who was it? Just a rando?
I have no recollection of this name at all. And he's old paid reg. He goes, "I'm an old paid regular. I'm on the wall somewhere."
If you're on the wall, you know where it's at.
I would think, unless you're
It is sad
adult.
when you don't you are paid, you don't know where it is on. It's been so long. Like that's sad to me. Like, when
But
they
also,
don't
all
know,
the
I
paid
think-
regulars
Tanya
are-
Lee Davis is on there twice.
Yeah, well, there's one where she can see it and then one where she can't.
Yeah, that's right.
She's a small person. The paid regulars are listed on the website. I've used that list a few times.
Oh, cool.
I don't know how
I did not
accurate.
know.
I don't know how many. If there maybe some aren't on there, but I think they updated at least. Speaking
So
of,
it's not accurate.
I don't know. No. I mean, like the names.
So it could be.
It's pretty accurate.
I'm gonna go in
50-50.
and
Yeah,
edit.
so is all of our collective memory.
Well, I mean, not of people like fucking,
the guy who showed up in the parking lot. That's who I'm.
the guy is the guy who you're talking. Is that the guy? Or are you talking about the other guy who showed up?
I'm talking about my guy. I have no idea. Who
Okay,
your
so
guy
check
is.
this out. This is a Halloween themed story because I've never had any fucking ghost anything at the Comedy Store. Not that I don't believe in ghosts or like, but I just don't give a shit.
I don't
And-
believe in it. I've never seen it.
Yes,
Here.
and it's funny because I was asked. I got asked to tell a ghost story on a thing and didn't end up working out. And I was like, I don't think I really have anything. I was like, I got this.
I said no. I
No.
can't do that.
This is what happened. The guy asked me about it, and I was like, I don't think I have this one story. I don't think I have quite really like a ghost encounter. I was like, but you could ask somebody who's been there longer, like Luke or somebody. And the guy said, yeah, I talked to Luke, and he said, I don't believe in ghosts. And I was like,
I can't fake it for
Yeah.
a TV show.
No, and,
I just can't do it. I'm
so
sorry.
this isn't like a ghost thing, but this is the creepiest, weirdest, spookiest thing that's ever happened to me at the Comedy Store. This guy came in. He was in the parking. He came and pulled into the lot and told whoever was in the lot whatever his name was, and they were like, "Huh, I mean, okay, like I've never heard that name." So they went to Richie and they were like, "Who is this guy?" And Richie's like, "I have no idea who this guy is. I've never seen. He's like, I've been here for 20 plus whatever
He has
years.
a
He's like,
quarter of a century.
He's like, I've never seen this guy. I've never heard this guy's name. I don't know who this guy is. And then like it was like a talk of the club for like an hour of like, who the fuck is this guy? He's trying to whatever. And then finally, I think Chris Spencer was like, no, I remember that guy. And Mitzi would put him up every now and again. Chris was like, I remember that guy. He's like, I don't know if I know that guy, but
I
I
don't
do.
know, Chris.
He's like, I do remember that guy. And so then they're like, finally, whatever. I don't even know if he even went up or signed up or whatever. I think he just parked in the lot. And then like people are talking about it. And then like 2+ hours later, I go into somebody asked for a shirt or something. I go in the merch room. I'm looking for the shirt. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll check in the back. And the back in the phone room, that's not somewhere that like everybody is going through constantly.
No.
This guy, like, nobody's going through there. And then I open up the drawer where the keys are. I open it up. There's papers everywhere. And on the very bottom, sticking out of just the bottom inch, sticking out of underneath all these papers, is that guy's name. And then I move those papers off and I pick up the thing, and it's a fucking dusty ass headshot of this motherfucker. I literally, like, for a second, I was like, yeah! And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then I grabbed it and I was like, this is,
What's the name?
I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but I think it's funny because it's in there because I took it into the office and I was like, you want to hear something fucking weird? And because Ryan was there and like part of the whole thing, I was like, I just opened this and this was on the bottom of the thing. And he was like, that's fucking weird. And he was like, get that out of here. And then
Chatterbox, right?
Yeah, he was like,
Motor mouth.
he was like, get that out of here. And then he was like, I was like, this is fucking weird. And he was like, actually, here's what we'll do. He's like, put it in Emily's mailbox because it'll freak her out because they were like, who is this guy? She's like, I don't fucking know. And then so I like took it and I like moved 2 things and then like stuck it in the mail. I don't even know if she ever found it or not, but it fucking spooked me the hell out, dude.
I got scared one time by a guy who just the back door got left open to the main room where you take the ladder in and out, and someone walked in from the street and was a little off, and he goes, what is this place? And I went, oh my God, it's nothing. It's closed. Get out of here.
You hit him with the ladder like WWF.
Get out of here. The door was probably open for less than a minute. Definitely less than a minute, but about 40
You see
seconds.
an open door, you're going to walk right in.
And he was like, what is this?
Yeah.
It'll be the only time you see me sprinting is when I go back into the main room.
When it's dark.
Oh, yeah.
You go phone flashlight? You go no phone flashlight?
I gotta go phone flash.
I go phone flashlight.
I go phone flashlight.
Sometimes I'll
it's
go no.
It's so dark.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it's a pitch black room with no windows.
It's
You could
so
have
dark.
recorded a scary movie of me and Anthony going to the back to retrieve all the snacks left over from the Josh had a mic.
It's funny because
show.
Anthony's like a like quintessential tough guy, and even in
But
that
both of
moment,
us.
he's like, yeah, it's really
You can't punch
it's
it. You
so
can't
dark.
But that's the room. So you guys, none of you believe in ghosts or whatever.
Oh,
but-
no, I believe in ghosts.
Yeah. Okay. I've had some weird, and I haven't seen anything, but like sounds, nobody there. Sounds, nobody there. Like clearing of a voice.
That's Richie in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. Oh my God. He just sounds sick all the time. I know
He
what it is.
He is.
I know
It is a
what it
sickness.
is.
Sick, huh?
I know it's that.
No, it's just he doesn't.
Chemical
He don't feel
post-nasal
so. He
drip.
don't
He's got
feel
a
so
sinus thing.
Not a sinus issue.
Seasonal allergies.
He
But
doesn't
it
feel
just,
good.
it rocks you, especially after COVID. But yeah, the main room back corner area is freaky.
Where the which back
area?
corner?
The like where the merch is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Merch area,
Phone room.
phone room.
Sure.
But more merch area than phone room. That where it gets weird in the corner.
R.I.P. Jeff Scott, who used to give ghost tours and would do creepy shit every Halloween and
There's-
dress crazy.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't say it out loud, but whenever I do go in there, in my mind, I'm like, Jeff, do not fuck with me.
Yeah,
Like, don't, and it's not even like I'm communicating. I think I'm
every time.
communicating with him. I'm just like, don't. Now's not the time, Jeff.
Every time.
like, no, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I love you, man, but I don't want you. I don't want to be
I-
spooked.
I say, Jeff, protect me, or like I'll just
Whoa,
walk
that's
into a dark room and be like, "What up, Jeff?" Just even if it's
Why?
in my head,
Why the what up?
just because
He's a good guy.
Because I know
He's not a good guy.
Like, he's a ghost now.
I come in
Jeff-
peace.
I don't know. Jeff was my friend, so I'm like, I just know if he's in there, if it was something like that, I'd be like, listen.
Look, I'm sure Jeff was cool as a live person, but fuck Ghost Jeff.
Is every
Ooh, dude, now you're gonna get haunted.
wait. But is every ghost every ghost is bad?
No.
No,
I
but
just think it's funny.
also it is very.
Oh, okay.
It
well,
is
you're
very.
the one that believes it.
I do believe it.
Right. So not every ghost is bad.
No.
No.
It's very funny because
But
it's
Jeff's
like
ghost is.
Yeah.
Jeff's ghost is
Wait,
mad at ghost traffic.
by the way-
coming in, someone was ghost driving poor, like he didn't cut him off.
yeah.
Speaking of Halloween,
mad at his
next
neighbor.
year I really next year I want to dress as Jeff Scott, and I want like a pretty close mask. I just think it would be fucking hilarious.
We should do the
Yeah,
ghost
I
tour.
played-
The ghost tour would be a really fun thing to do.
You should
But
dress
I
up as
wanna-
Jeff Scott and do it.
He knew all the
I
stuff.
would
though.
know. I used
No
to
one
do
knows
ghost
all the
tours.
stuff. Maybe Damon knows some of the stuff, but I don't know who knows the stuff.
Yeah, I
Jeff
know all
knew it
the
all.
stories. Yeah.
But
You guys ready to see a great ghost tonight?
Yeah, you guys ready to see a ghost? I had a very comedy. Or wait, sorry, am I interrupting your
no.
ghost thing?
I just need help remembering that. And
Oh.
I think a bunch of us should dress up as
Yes.
Jeff.
Also, I think it's very funny that like the ghosts that people talk about here are like mobsters from the whatever, and you're like,
Yeah.
Jeff, protect me. And so it's like this mobster mean ghost, and then Jeff, you're like,
Get away from her.
exactly. Honey, don't even mess with my friend.
And then they run away.
Throw a drink in his
Yeah, that would be one of his moves. Blows smoke at
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It blows a smoke. He's drinking
Smoke
wine.
attack.
He has a wine in a rocks glass for some fucking reason, and he throws
With
it
his
in.
wine and like a liter of wine.
Dude.
Buildings filled with the mob and comedians.
Yeah, and
Yes.
Jeff. And Jeff is the
Jeff.
protector. Jeff is the new sheriff in town. That's like, this is my haunt. Like he's just, yeah. You know, if he's haunting anyone, it's his neighbor who he would constantly talk on.
yeah.
Jeff had one of the best Facebooks of all time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, if you go back
Thank
into
you.
Jeff's Facebook and fucking pull down and just go, it is.
He was mad.
He was mad. He would
lose
he
his
was angry.
mind every
Oh, yeah.
once in a while.
But he would also I don't know if I've told the story on this podcast, but I just started here. And it was my first this was the only thing I was like, I knew Jeff from here. It wasn't like we were best friends. Whenever he died, it made me very sad. And I went to his memorial and I was like, if there's like a lull and there's not like anybody going up at the moment, I would go up and tell this story because I just started here, like, and it was a few weeks ago, and I knew that Jeff liked little fucking knickknacks and whatever else about the Comedy Store.
Yes,
and so
he was a collector. He had like old wallpaper from Ciro's.
Yeah.
He had like the original thing, sconce.
Yeah.
He would have all that
like
stuff.
he knew everything. And so there was I was working back door, and it was the next day after Chris Rock and Steve Martin had come in.
Yeah.
And then on the podium out there was the piece of paper that said Chris Rock and then was underlined Steve Martin. And so I found that, and Jeff, I was at the back door, and Jeff came in, and we had talked like a few times, and he came in, and I was like, hey Jeff, like I'm like a bright-eyed, just started here, and I found it because I was like, I'm gonna give this to Jeff, and then he came in, and I was like, hey Jeff, I got this. I found this was the piece of paper from Chris Rock and Steve Martin. I figured you want to put that up like somewhere. Steve Martin's not someone that comes in. And he gives me this whole thing, and he's like, why would I want a piece of paper? You think I want to keep a fucking piece of paper? Like, what the fuck do you think like all this? And I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, cool, fine. And so I grabbed it, and I was like, fuck me, and I threw it in the trash. And then the next day, I was there, and he found me, and he was like, I'm sorry that maybe it was like a week later, maybe later. Or might even been later that night. And he was like, sorry that I did all this, whatever. He's like, I actually would like that piece of paper. And I was like, Jeff, I fucking threw it in the trash because you made me feel like a retard. Like you fucking you yelled at me and told me I was an idiot for even trying to give it to you. So I threw it away. And he was like, oh, okay. Like I was like, what the fuck? What is this fucking place?
Everyone's so sensitive.
Yeah, I was like, God.
I think that the thing with Jeff, like we were friends and we were like friendly with each other, but we became like close friends after we went through like a week of like anger, like no talking. He was
he feuded with everybody.
He fought with everybody.
but once he feuded with you, I feel like you got
I had hot
through
years
a
and
thing.
cold years.
Yeah.
With Jeff.
Yeah.
He was like, he decided he didn't like me, and he was like, and then
Luke is a cunt.
Yeah.
okay.
No, he's just a bitch.
Yeah.
Luke is
He'd walk away as soon as you came in, like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, he made it known too. He, like with the head. This is this.
Yeah.
This and like the.
All right, this would be a fun ghost.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
He's just literally an
Straight
old.
Josh Martin.
Yeah, literally, but yeah, just an older queen. He smoked
How
more.
much does Josh Martin look like Carrie right now, though? How funny is that?
He smoked so much weed, and then if you didn't share his pipe with him, he would accuse you of not liking him because he has AIDS.
Yeah. Yeah, he would use the AIDS.
It's like, oh, is it because I have
Use the
AIDS? And you'd be like,
AIDS
no,
card.
it's because I don't want to smoke weed right now. And then you'd be like, well,
always-
fine, I'll fucking smoke the weed if you're going to say I hate you because you have AIDS.
There's a plaque back there now. I like it.
It need a bigger plaque. And the
You
plaque
know-
is the same color as the wood.
I like it. It's subtle. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very plaque colored.
But there needs to be like a golden
It's
thing.
it's shiny writing.
But it needs to be like gaudy. He was a gay guy.
Don't.
He fucking tapped him on the shoulder.
Great.
You get it?
Oh man! I have also a very Comedy Store thing that happened the other night. It was this is my own feeling of having to be responsible, not ruining my whole thing, but I got hit up because it was Saturday, so they had the 7 o'clock OR show and then the late OR show, or maybe it was, so 7 o'clock, and I got texted to do the cold open, and it said cold open the OR 7:25.
Oh. Do you this
7:25? Yes, and so
oh my god!
So 7:20. It says open the cold open OR 7:25, and I just knew that it was actually 7 o'clock because I knew that's what time the show started that night. Even though I wasn't working, I'm just on top of shit.
Yeah.
So I double checked the website. I'm like, all right, fine, I'm gonna get there.
I had to text the group because the times haven't been changed.
I was like,
Oh, it got
and
worse,
stuff.
Luke.
and so I get there. I got there like 6:40. I was like, I'll get there. I'll chill. I'll have a drink. I'll fucking chill out before my thing. And then I get there and I see the lineup. 7:25, everybody else 7:30, 7:45. It's all late. And the smart thing would have been to be like, hey, looks like to just not say anything and be like, I'll go up and do my thing and then I'll get to stretch, whatever. I'll get to go long. And then, but I immediately get there and I was like, I think the first person I told was Joe. I was like, hey, this night's gonna be fucked. And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, everybody thinks. I was like, look at the lineup. That's for sure the lineup everybody got. Yep. Everybody is gonna be here 30 minutes behind the time they think they're supposed to be here.
And then 10 minutes behind that.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes
Luke,
behind that.
He was right. Okay.
And then so he went and told
I believe. Yeah.
So then he went and told Richie. Because at first Joe was like, all right, fine, we'll start a few minutes. We'll start like a few minutes late. He's like, you'll do like 15, 20. And I was like,
but there's a second show, right?
Yes. And so he was.
That's the real.
He was like, we'll start a few minutes late. You'll do like 15, 20. And then he's like, I'm gonna run it past Richie. So then he goes to Richie and Richie says, no, we'll push it 15, 20 minutes, and then.
This is me already playing. Okay, so this.
Oh, this is the doors are open at 6:30.
And from I'm gonna cut in for a second.
And the paper says 7:25.
Yes.
25.
But okay.
Okay, listen.
Not
so
joking.
I didn't get the lineup. Like Jake came in and handed us the lineup like before we were supposed. After we were supposed to open. So I didn't.
I saw it in the hallway and I
didn't put anything together.
No.
So I didn't have a lineup. I sit down, I start playing. They start bringing people in. As the pianist, you have like songs that you play that are more upbeat or whatever, so that it sets a vibe. If you go over, like I got about 45. If you go over that, I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Like I have to figure out what am I going to play. How much more time?
Start
I don't know
over.
Yeah. But then
at a certain point, Kaylee's just like.
Yeah, they might know. They're so focused on the show going up. They're like, why are you playing that first diddle again?
I mean,
we remember it.
But for me, I was like, oh man, like and then you could try to circle back, but it feels dumb and hacky. It's like it just feels hacky.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I have no idea how long I'm going to be playing this shit for. And it's like, it's starting to, they tell me another 10 minutes and then another 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh.
So then,
go ahead.
So Joe's like, I'm going to run it past Richie, whatever. And by now it's like 6:50, 6:55. And so then Joe comes
You're
back.
supposed to be up.
Yeah. And so he's like, Richie wants to push to like 7:15, 7:20. He's like, we'll start at 7:10. Nobody will know the difference. Do 10:15. And I was like, all right. But then it's like getting closer to that. So in my head, I'm like, as soon as the next person gets here, I'm going to have to get off basically. So like, I'm like prepared, but not, where I'm like, I know I can do whatever, but it's like, I don't know when they're going to give me the light. So I'm like talking with Alex, who's working the booth. I was like, all right. I was like, just give me a light. I was like, I'm going to go 3 minutes past the light. Just give me the light whenever you need me 3 minutes from there, and we'll do it. Like, it'll work out. And so I'm on stage, and I'm like, it's going fine. Like, it went really well, whatever. Had fun. Yada, yada.
I need to cut in for a second. It felt like the first paid regular. That set was great.
It was fun.
It was start to finish, well-paced. Lot of laughs. He opened the room up. I mean, it was. I gotta say, as far as that amount of time with the door guy opening, I was like convinced you need to be past like after.
Tell the world.
Tell the world,
You hear that?
No, I gotta
If
say,
you've listened this far,
when
honestly,
that happens,
can you stop rubbing his belly right now? That's enough.
when that happens, when it happens with you, I'll
Saul,
say,
you
I'll say
suck, is what
something.
she said.
yeah,
No,
that's
I
so
love
get a
my
job.
sets every time.
That was
That's
great.
what every other comedian in the world hears.
But when you're doing 12 minutes, when you thought you were going to do 5 and it's well paced, you got to shout it out.
Yes.
But also, I was the entire set. I'm like, doing whatever with the crowd, but I'm also just watching the back door because I'm like, I'm just waiting for whoever. I'm waiting for Orlando Leyba, I thought, and then I was just waiting for somebody to walk up the thing, and then they weren't. So I was
Can't
like,
even enjoy doing your material because you have anxiety.
absolutely, and it was
Which
like,
makes the show go better.
yeah, it was,
You know, because you're not thinking about your material.
exactly.
You're like-
it was like
you're like,
everything was working
I'm
out, but I
in
was
show
like,
business.
literally saying like I'm doing like crowd work, and be like, you two with your fucking hat, while I'm also looking at the fucking
Nice hat.
back.
What are you wearing? A hat?
Yeah, that's crowd. That is always my
That's
opinion
my
of crowd work. Be like, what is your fucking hat?
Crowd full of hats.
Yeah, and then eventually,
What are you from somewhere?
eventually got the light, and then I like looked over to Caley in a way of like help me because I was like, it could be anybody, and it was Jason Collins, and I was like. Don't know the credits. Lady guys, great guy, funny guy, Jason Collins.
Yeah.
Like I just I couldn't do anything. But it was fun. And then I hosted the Horribly Funny show in the Belly Room on Friday. That was banging. That's a banging show. Shout out Greg, my dog.
What?
Shout out Greg.
Which Greg?
My dog.
Greg, Graig, Horribly Funny. Armenian Greg, sweaty.
Oh,
Sweaty,
yes.
sweaty,
Yes,
anxious,
yes.
nicest guy in the entire
Very
world.
Oh, I
Sweet.
know him.
Oh, yeah.
Very sweet man, round leather jacket.
Yep, runs the best. Runs definitely the best Belly Room show, and I think likes me hosting it more than being a good host. I think he actually likes it because I will go find people and I will go tell Leslie it's time to go up.
That's a good host, actually.
Yeah,
That's what a good host
Because I
does,
think he
yeah.
has a lot of other people host it who just he's like I don't know why he's an accent. I can't find Leslie, and so I'm like it didn't like they'll just sit there, and he was like stressed out about looking for Leslie. I was like I'll just go find Leslie. I was like they got 12 minutes. I was like I'll just go fucking and I just walk into the main room green room. I was like Leslie, we got like 3 minutes. And she's like, okay. And then we go.
That's the thing about Door Guys that's actually cool as hell because you guys are so used to going up and then working. It's like this mechanism. You're used to going up and working, and it takes your brain out of it a little. So, like, there's a chillness.
It can. You know,
It
Garza
seems like it
used to
does.
ask for like 15 minutes before.
Oh, I take my
his-
time before a set. I always go like 15, 20 minutes. Just not because I'm like, I need to decompress or whatever. I'm just like, I want to chill for a second. Like
That's decompression.
but I'm not like, if I don't do that,
Yeah,
I'm
that's like
fucked.
definitely decompressing.
Yeah.
Chilling.
No, I'm not doing it because I'm like I have to do this or else or whatever. I'm just like I want to chill. I don't want to work at all.
that's you're doing the same thing. It's fine.
Whatever.
You're getting your head right.
I am maybe.
You can't say chill. Decompressing is a professional way of saying chill.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, no, I
syllables.
was just commenting on like
you.
the ability to work. I think
Nicer than you hated
after
me
a set.
earlier.
I didn't like that one.
It's more afterwards.
You're getting out of your own thing.
Come on.
It's always fun. Bruce, I'll do like a one little quick physical jab, and Bruce will go, "Okay, we're fighting. Okay,
Well, yeah,
we're
because
fighting."
you come in and you'll punch me in the stomach, and then you'll.
Oh, I
and
don't
then
punch you in the stomach.
You do something. No, here's what
No, I'll
here's what you
grab. I'll
mostly
do a grab.
You
like
do a
this,
grab,
and then you're like, "Oh,
Grab.
we're wrestling."
or
And
you
I'm
do a loose wristed slap on
Oh.
the arm, and then but you do it.
it's a tight
You do it
wristed. Oh, I
hard.
get you on the
and
I
then
get
you,
people
and
on
then
the
it-
elbow. That's
I'm
a
like,
fun
well,
one.
you hit me, so now I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna throw you against
you're
the wall.
overreacting.
That's not. What am I just supposed to let you hit me and be like, oh,
Yeah.
Fight.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'm just a baby. That's what Polly always says. I'm just a baby.
No, but it's funny because Luke doing that has opened me up to. I've been just doing that to everybody, where I'll just like lightly grab somebody, but like make it look like I'm doing it really hard and like throw them into the headshots in the hallway. And it's just like I've been doing that to Zach Ciappelloni since his first day, and I don't think we've ever done anything beyond shaking. Like before that, I've never hugged him.
Yeah,
I've shook
you
his
weren't
hand.
close.
We were like friends, but like his first day, I think I just grabbed him by the fucking sleeves and like drug him down the fucking headshots because I don't know why at all. I have no reason.
Power of
Yeah, it's
being
just
the
it's
senior
just very
dog.
funny to bully people. But I'm not doing it in a bullying way. I love
It is very funny.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's very funny.
Physically attacking somebody is hilarious.
It can be.
Assault is
Yeah,
great.
assault's good.
It can be funny.
It just acts like you're beating the shit out of someone, which is funny because I have friends who do that to me. But I have friends who will do the thing where they like act like they're jabbing you, but they're really getting like a half an inch from your face.
Yeah, I don't like.
I hate that.
I'll give you a little
It
smack.
actually
Luke comes in, he hits
Yeah.
me in a fucking
No,
feel like
I
it
don't
hurts
go
more
anywhere
once.
on the inside of the body. It's
Dude, but
always
then
an
you're-
arm.
then
yeah,
you're fucking-
depends on how.
like a
Yeah,
sharp
see, that's fun.
knuckles
See,
are.
that's
One of those.
And
yeah.
see, Burner would do it all the time, but it was awful because Burner would want to like
Burner would want to fight though.
Burner would like want to like wrestle to the
Burner-
death.
Jeffrey Burner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like
He's a professional wrestler.
he was on
professional
the spectrum
wrestler.
until you say stop. He's not going to stop. He doesn't know it's like he'll stop and he'll respect
And
you
he's a
once you say
fucking
stop, 'cause
strong
he'll
little
go.
hamster.
He's just
strong.
he's
He'll crawl in you.
He really
oh,
will.
he will
really
he
like
took down he tried to take down people. He was like a
Yeah, he
point of
wants you,
pride.
he wants to like wrestle you to the ground.
he likes
Where I just want to drag you down the headshot.
like I just want to give you a smack
Yeah.
and keep it moving.
Exactly. I just want to put your face into where Josh Nasser thinks his headshot is. Folks, hey.
He got mad at me and I was like, I'm not moving it. You know why it's being moved? Because you're like replacing like Chris Rock. Like you move like a big comedian from the middle up to the corner.
so
Just
funny.
I'm not doing it, but like you got to know why.
Yeah.
It's because you want to move your headshot.
Yeah.
Like all due respect, man, you're fine.
Move
But
Bob
just,
Wheeler.
Like,
It's just funny. There's an illuminati of people that are moving my headshot.
yeah,
Man, the funniest thing is Ryan was
yeah, managers do it.
yeah, I don't know about that.
Not him,
no,
but someone
Ryan,
else.
Ryan came up to me a few weeks ago and saw me like clicking back fucking things and was like, "Why do you do that?" Or he's like, "Why do you guys do that?" And he was like, "I don't give a shit." He's like, "But why do you do that?" And I was like, "Honestly, dude, the absolute truth, not me trying to be like, oh, I'm like literally the truth. I don't know." But it's the second thing I learned here after where to take the trash. My first day, I came in. There was like something we were taking out of trash, and then coming back from the dumpster, whoever I was with put the trash can down and was like, "Check this out," and then did it, and then they said, "Always do that," and I said, "All right."
To a specific person? Or?
To me.
No, to the
To a specific person. Yeah.
to a specific headshot.
To a specific headshot that we were.
That other one.
What's ingrained
Not
in
even,
you now?
Not even.
Just.
That's all you know how to do.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
Can't
I don't
teach
know.
old dogs new tricks.
Absolutely. I don't know why I do it, but I have to. I was told always to do it.
Our biggest thing at working the back door used to be make sure the bathroom door stays closed. Because we had, it didn't look like this. It was a wall that had two bathroom doors that swung outward. And Renee and I will sometimes say, gotta keep door closed, keep the door closed.
And then there's
'Cause
no
we'd
door to be closed.
No, but we'd be yelled at, if not. So that's like our, first day on the job kind of things you learn. It's always to,
Yeah, and then I got
That's
pissed
funny.
drunk and had to do the marquee.
yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was something. I might have been like the last one that had to do like. I think I might have literally been the last person that had like.
We used to change them daily.
Well,
Yeah.
absolutely. I bought a raincoat specifically to do that, and I remember I've had to do it in the pouring rain where I have
Yep.
rags out there with me, and I'm wiping the ladder constantly because I'm like, I don't want to fucking fall
Yeah.
down onto the street.
Yeah.
And now
That's
I'm
pretty
just like, I
cool.
just refuse to do it. I will not do it.
I want less clothes even when there's rain. Like I don't need this. Maybe the windbreaker slicker.
Well,
thing,
it's because
but I
Darius
don't know.
gave me
Luke's out there
it was
naked.
raining, and Darius gave me a rain
No,
jacket.
but like t-shirts.
Just
jeans,
any size rain
What I-
jacket or a rain
No,
jacket?
Darius gave me this rain jacket he had that was obviously too small, but like did the job. And I liked the jacket, and I looked at the brand, and then I bought the same one.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darius dresses well.
Yeah.
Well,
He also dresses like a golfer from the 1950s.
he dresses like he's from Detroit.
Yeah.
Does he?
Even his sneakers have square toes somehow.
Yeah.
Like he just like he has like Clark Force Ones.
What up,
You know,
bro?
like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He'll wear like a very low V with the chain and
Yeah.
like very like pimp from the '80s kind of thing.
He's
but,
a great looking guy.
yeah,
I
for sure.
I like
He's
his style.
him and
great.
Ron, Ron Taylor. You can always just tell, and like even Brett and Biddlecombe is like they all dress like they're from the past if they're from Detroit.
Yeah.
It's like when it used to be cool, like
Yeah.
to be from Detroit.
No, 100%.
Before GM moved.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, Tony, aren't you from Michigan, Tony?
There's
yeah, Tony's
Fagos
like,
in
no.
the goddamn
There are
fridge.
Fagos in the fridge. This is a very Detroit podcast.
Got
studio.
ICP playing in the background.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, Tony has one headphone with us, and the other one just like homies. Just blasting
Wow.
ICP.
I don't know the reference.
don't?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get ICP, but that's about it.
You seem like you're more into ICUP.
I cup, sure. Yeah, nice. Got it. Hey,
hello.
got it. Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, I want to.
He's gonna slap
Hey,
you. They're
karate
gonna
chop.
fight.
That Vargas show, I almost slapped a cell phone out of a hand, and it would have been 4 for 4.
Oh, I go, hey,
I'm
no
3 for
filming.
3. I'm slapping someone's cell, and it's just instinctually where I slap it out of their hand, it falls onto the ground, and then they apologize to me. I'm 3 for 3 on that, and I forget. Anthony was like, "You don't slap them out of their hand." I was like, "That's probably fair."
Yeah, no.
Dude,
That's
next time you
probably
work
fair.
that show, you should wear a luchador mask and come in there with no shirt and like really tight pants and then just like be ready to fight everybody.
I don't know what I genuinely don't know what it is. Like I think it's just because they don't really know what it's like. A lot of like actor friends.
What was this?
And it's like a lot of like
The new security guard's name?
aunts and uncles.
Black dude or Steve?
Steve. Is it the tall? Yeah, white guy.
Big Dom.
He told me that he knew most of the he's like half the people at the
Bringer.
Vargas show, at the
Yeah.
Bringer show. He's like, yeah, they're all broke actors.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
Yeah.
sad because they didn't tip well either. Apparently.
Yeah, well, of course they're all like, oh, Valerie's going up, or whoever,
Yeah,
and they're
it was
like,
gross.
Valorie's great. I love her. I
Some
took a
fake
class
name.
with her. Yeah,
Valerie's not even a real name.
Valerie Snow.
Yeah. And it's like, well, how come your driver's license says Ethel Steinberg?
Yeah, yeah.
Steinberg Black.
That's my actor's name, Valerie.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Fun times on the Doorcast, guys. All
yeah.
this and much more next week on the Doorcast.
Is Bruce closing the show for Luke?
No, I want.
Have any big?
Oh God! And like even before, it's going to be a tough night when I was setting up the room and the door's going ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. There's no handle.
There's no hand, so that means you're grabbing that square and
You're trying to
You're so
pry it
upset.
open.
You're digging into a door.
Your nails are bleeding.
And it's like, why?
grabbing the door?
Then why would you try to go in there?
I think a lot of people literally don't listen to the rules. They sit there and nod and look at you, but
They tune out.
They just tune.
That's why I tell the rules very clearly.
I look at people in their eye.
I look back and forth and I say them.
Bruce
very-
Bruce is mean actually.
Somebody will be
we're gonna
talking.
close it out with a new feature. I forgot.
Somebody will be talking during the thing, and I'll just stop and I'll be like, and then they'll finally look at me and I'll be like, guys, hey, striped shirt, stop talking, you're gonna get kicked out. And I'll be like, well, what? And then I tell them all of it very clearly. So then later when they break it, I'll go, that's the first thing you were told when you came in here. And then also the other night, this lady got kicked out for heckling, and I was like, that was the first thing you got told when you came in here. And she said, so? And I said, all right, well, we're done.
Yeah.
Get out.
Your understanding.
What's the new feature?
The new feature is 1-star reviews.
Oh, 1-star review, dude.
If you have one that you love, we can go there. But I'm just pulling up a random from Bill from a month ago.
Are these from
1 star.
The
This is
Comedy Store.
this is Comedy Store.
Nice.
Oh my God.
This is the third comedy club I've gone to between L.A., Las Vegas, and a cruise ship. So he's a connoisseur. I'm very disappointed that most of the performers have very foul mouths, and I am not a prude. I went to a comedy show on a cruise ship where the performer had a G-rated show that was hilarious and kept everyone's attention. That's crude. I mean, not to say that people here aren't offensive. Like, people here definitely are offensive. There's so many great entertainers in the rooms, or shows like Seinfeld, Steve Martin, Robin Williams, The Office, etc. I mean, Robin's dead, but that are quite entertaining. I wonder if there are any real comedy clubs still around. Damn.
Burn.
That's
sick burn.
Sick friggin' burn.
That one hurt.
Clean, guys.
That
There was a
hurt.
1-star here that.
Do we have one about like servers or?
Oh, there's
Yeah,
one.
what
Well,
was
there's
the
one guy who
one-
left
Oh, here.
4.
in the chat.
I've consistently had horrible service here every time I go here. Never going again. Aggressive bouncers, weak drinks, confusing seating situations.
Confusing.
It's accurate. I mean, it's confusing. It's like they've never been here, and we're going. Trust me, sit here, and you're sharing a table. It sucks. Recommend going to other. Woo! Yeah.
1-star reviews is a great fucking thing. God
Yeah, I
damn
love
it. Because I look at Comedy Store reviews all the time because they're so funny to me. Because
Now it's going to be something that I'm going to do now.
well, people also will be like,
Oh, this is a tough. Oh,
false advertisement. This person
I know who this applies. I know how many paid regulars this applies to. Visit on Thursday. A waste of time. Only people who thought they were funny were the comics themselves.
That's funny. I like that.
If you can find it, quick go. Otherwise, I'm gonna close it down and ask to do plugs here.
Yeah, I mean, there was one that was really funny that they were making fun of a short
If you could find it, Caley, thank you for being on the
a
pod.
short Joe Rogan looking guy who's
There's the
definitely Marisi. Could
the
be
Argus
confusing.
The
Oh, the Argus one. That,
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
but that's
you-
2 stars.
Yeah,
gave
just
it a
read
second.
Wow,
it,
2
read it.
stars. Let's.
Okay.
Well, this I have like actual. I side with her on the later part of it.
Yeah.
Not the early part of it.
The comedians were horrible except one lady. Chris Spencer's comedy was offensive, and I will not see him again. Oh, this was the Chris Spencer one, where she thought Chris Spencer was racist.
It was a black lady too.
Yeah, that's very funny.
I mean, he
Where was
has
the
some
artist?
racial jokes for sure.
Yeah.
Here, sorry, I got
It
it.
is one side.
Okay.
The Argus.
We'll clean this up for the next
All right, here,
episode.
let me get-
Thanks for listening. And sorry this episode came out so late this week. You know, it was Halloween and we didn't do it.
Let me hit this
yesterday.
really quick. Came here last night with a surprise lineup. The door guy said there were 2 rules. There was a 2-drink minimum, don't heckle the comedians. Followed both rules. Ali Wong came on stage. The crowd got very excited. She was making everyone laugh pretty hard, but apparently we were laughing a little too loud, and the short door guy approached us twice for that reason. He honestly ruined our experience at the store. We left the show early because of the short Joe Rogan lookalike guy.
Joe Reed.
Which is
I think
definitely
Joe
Mauricio.
talked about that on this podcast.
did he? Yeah. No. Joe can be a very confusing person to talk to if you've
Yeah.
never talked to him.
He's
before.
very it's simple sentences.
Shut up. Stop. Hey, no. Knock it off.
Be quiet.
You're supposed to be quiet, right?
He's got a
Can't
ball
be
guy's
talking
voice.
here.
What are you doing?
You can't talk here. You can't talk here. Joe, what?
Yeah, I told him they can't talk here.
It's dead on.
Yeah, it's so, he's the funniest person in the entire world.
Did you have the one or is it too long?
I do, but it's really
It's too long, yeah.
Let's
But read the last paragraph. Like she hates Argus's comedy and
Well,
thinks
she
he's
said
racist.
She said he was
Oh, yeah.
ranting and raving about being proud to be a Confederate.
He just talks about how he's a statue because he's old.
He literally just says, "I'm."
No,
No,
all she
he-
heard was Confederate.
No.
It's a
No.
It's
In
a
her- in
3-line
defense-
joke.
But he has a lot of other jokes where
He
he's
does.
like, "I'm an Anglo-Saxon Norton. We do this when I'm from a good old boy from." And he talks about the whole thing.
He does. He goes.
Let's be honest. Here.
All right, let me get to the news.
Yeah.
All right. The end
He
of it.
didn't call today. That's crazy.
The end of it is I all capitals walked out and got a
Dean did.
refund. Staff was dismissive aside from my server. That's new. Though I was composed and just ready
Yeah.
to get out of there to improve my night.
Yeah.
The hostess thought this would be a great time to mention that I remind her of an angry black woman
You
from
know-
a reality TV show.
And that was for sure, Jess.
Jessica. Yeah. I was going to say who you
everybody
think.
knew it was Jessica.
Yeah, no, she has and honestly, that is very rude.
Yeah. That's pretty
Like
rude.
that sucks. Like
Well, you're
I try,
angry, too.
but I try and tell my coworkers that, and I'm like some kind of
Jessica's wearing a rainbow afro.
and it's not Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like. Yeah. And so when I tell people to stop yelling at people, it's really
Well, there is a
all
you can yell at
our
people
security
first.
guides need to go through a training or something. It's tough out. It's tough to come through those doors.
Sometimes
It's
it's just
too
it's a
tough.
lack of communication. I feel like
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it, and also the wrong communication. But that's another episode. I'll get those guys in here. We'll have a training on
that
camera.
would be great.
Luke's rules. Bruce, thank you for being on this podcast, the Doorcast.
Am I your most regular guest?
You're up there. Most Wednesdays, this Wednesday, November 2nd, Doorcat, up next
The
show.
last up next show ever, everybody.
No,
Come
it's
on
not.
down.
You don't say that.
It's canceled.
Hey, we
But
got to
got
get this.
3 more.
I got to connect you to the guy who wants to take over the Instagram for this show or so.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, right. We just give it to him, and
So
I
I
want
was
to do
like,
that.
thank
Yeah,
That would be
that's
great.
fine.
The club's closing down.
Bruce,
We'll
how
see
many
you guys.
podcasts do you have?
I have 2 podcasts. Bag Fries podcast every single week, and then whenever I feel like doing it, Fat Jocks podcast.
Yeah, that's right. And people can find you at Bruce something.
At Bruce Gray and BruceGrayComedy.com. Powered by Squarespace.
So
At Saul Comedy, and I also do a Instagram show with paid regular Steve Fury at Punching Up Show. We talk shit on street fights.
Saul might
That's
be
great.
one of my most repeating because he was on last episode too. But we worked the Vargas show together, and I just wanted to get him in.
Awful.
Fair.
Kaylee,
At Caley Lee, Leigh, Caley Leigh, Kaylee Chase everywhere else, and I'm only doing this podcast.
Don't even ask.
Oh wait, I also was on the Dana Carvey and
Oh, that's awesome.
David Spade the podcast briefly because my dad was on. So
You were showing him how to use a
I'm in
computer.
there in the background.
Who the hell am I looking at?
What's a dot
Who is this?
wave file?
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. If you tipped and didn't get a shout out, hit me up. And thanks. Shout out Tony in the booth.
Yeah, Tony.
All right. Bye, everybody.